Hey, good morning. If I do this a lot today, it's because it's so cold out that my nose is running. Don't worry about it. Don't freak out. So, last night, someone left a comment on my TikTok page, and it was video number 7 for the YouTube. And they said nothing but ego after they watched the video. And I sat with it for a while. And I responded back to the person. Thank you for your comment. You are absolutely correct. Because whenever I am not the present moment or the stillness, I become the ego, I become the trauma, and I become a person. And that's just it. Whenever we're not present without thought, and whenever we're not the stillness, we become the trauma. We become triggered. We become our person. We could get angry. We could get depressed. We could get upset. So whenever we're not present, we become our past. We become the trauma. We become who we are now or who we think we are now. But whenever we're present, we become the stillness. And we become one with all things. We become creation, existence. And we're connected to creation and existence. And we leave the trauma behind. We leave the past behind, where we no longer have a past. We no longer have a future. We're not a person. We don't have an identity. We don't have a gimmick. We're not Joe or Sue or Richard or Ricardo or whatever your name is. You're just here in this moment. And you don't give anything a name. A tree is not a tree. A leaf is not a leaf. A bug is not a bug. Everything is just here with you. And you're not labeling or naming anything. You're just feeling it. And you're existing with it. And you're here with it. And it's such an incredible feeling. The most amazing feeling on the planet. Some people don't like to read comments. But what if somebody out there needs to be heard or feel loved or be seen? And you don't read the comments of your own videos because you don't want to get wounded, personally. Well, if you don't want to get wounded personally, why do you feel like you should have a TikTok or a YouTube channel? We should only create material such as YouTube and TikTok to help love people, to heal people, to be there for people, to create a community. Because loneliness has been an epidemic for the past 40 years. As Gabor Mate would always say. I'm a huge Gabor Mate fan. And how do we help that loneliness? Creating platforms such as this, where you create a community of love and support, where people feel heard and listened to. Why did I write that book? Even though it's called Psychopath, why did I write that book? So people would read that book and just breathe and be like, finally, somebody understands me. Like, this is who I am. The other day, somebody commented on a TikTok video of mine, and they commented and said, "You're talking about my life." And I think that we don't understand that sometimes. We kind of see past that. That I'll be talking about something for 10 minutes, and somebody will be watching it, and they'll think I'm talking about them. Because we've had the same experiences. Some of us have had the same childhoods. When Alice Miller wrote that book, I forget, blanking on the name, tons of people approached her after they read her book and said, when I read your book, I felt like you were talking about me and my life. Exactly. And the more and more we have communities like this, such as this, or my book or Alice Miller's book, the more and more people will feel loved and understood. And they'll feel like they're not alone. And that's why people do what we do, like Gabor Mate, and you know, we do it because when you get to a certain point in your own healing, and you understood that you're not your trauma, and you understood why your trauma happened, why you became the psychopath, why you became this, why you became that, why you became all these things, and you start to become more of the present moment, and you enter the realm of the stillness in the present moment more, you start to naturally feel that you want to be a part of something bigger than yourself, which is community and love and support and being a part of all things. Because we are all things. We're all in some weird way connected to all things. The leaves, the trees. And if people would just drop down their guard and they would erase and just allow themselves to breathe and be vulnerable and allow themselves to stop thinking and worrying and slipping into their past self so much in their trauma, or who they've been told who they were, or who their parents or their peers or whoever said that they were, whether it's not good enough or whatever. Once you get past all that, all those things that people said about you, and you just allow yourself to just breathe and like be okay, you could actually cry and heal. But you got to study people. You got to study Gabor Mate, Alice Miller, Richard Schwartz, IFS therapy. There's so many people. I would just say those three, honestly. I've dabbled in everything. I've done dialectical behavior therapy to make me more present. Cognitive behavior therapy, but that, Gabor Mate and Richard Schwartz talk about how that doesn't really work. The Body Keeps the Score is a really good audiobook that's on YouTube. There's so many things out there to help you and help me and help everyone now. And my best psychiatrists and my best doctors and therapists all came from YouTube. And that's why I love this channel. And that's why I think it's important to create a platform like this where people feel like they're seen, they're heard, and somebody gets them and somebody understands them. And that's why I wrote the book. That's why I created this channel. And that's why I think most people that feel the connectedness to all things want to do that for others. So thank you so much for your time. I hope you're having a great day. I'll try to get back to your comments later tonight. And thank you for all things.